So I've spent the last 5 days in a Buddhist monastery. It was a fascinating experience. I meditate a lot. I've actually been meditating for the last 20 years or so. And it was an amazing experience. I actually went to do service work rather than be a retreatant, so I wasn't actually doing the meditation so much. I was cooking the food and helping out in that capacity. However, what I found interesting was when I did sit to try and meditate, I actually couldn't. I tried, and my mind was just running around all over the place, and I struggled. And once upon a time, that would have been very difficult for me, being in a place of Zen or a place of worship or a place of meditation and not actually being able to meditate. I would have been quite ruffled by that. However, I found that I was okay with the idea of not meditating. And the reason being is, once upon a time, I mean, it's a practice to meditate. I would have felt quite bad if I would have sat in the morning and not done my morning routine and sat for meditation. It would have been very difficult, and I would have struggled, and I would have felt bad, and I would have beaten myself up, and perhaps the rest of the day would have gone a little bit bad because I woke up and I didn't get my meditation routine in. However, I've gotten to this place where I've realized that whether I meditate or not meditate, it doesn't matter. What matters really is, am I okay? Am I okay with the idea of meditating? Am I okay with the idea of not meditating? I.e., am I at peace? Have I got that state of equanimity? And am I just aware of things? Am I aware of the fact I am meditating or not meditating? It reminds me of a picture or a comic strip I saw once. And the comic strip was of a Zen master and his student. And one day the student goes running to the master. He's like, Master, I've had the most incredible experience. I was sitting for meditation and everything came into focus, and it was such an amazing experience, and I felt one with nature. And the master said, very good, it will pass. And then a few days later, the same student goes running back to the master. He's like, Master, I had the worst meditation ever. I couldn't sit, I couldn't focus, I couldn't concentrate. And the master turned around and said, very good, it will also pass. And it's this idea that just because you have a good meditation, it doesn't necessarily mean that all meditations thereafter will be good. Just because you have a bad meditation doesn't necessarily mean that all meditations will be bad thereafter. It's about being, the whole purpose of meditation is to find that sense of equanimity, to find that sense of peace within oneself, such that whether you're meditating or not, it doesn't really matter. And I found that at this retreat, when I was sitting for meditating and I couldn't, rather than being flustered or rather than being annoyed at myself or feeling guilty or feeling bad that I'm in this amazing experience, amazing place, and I can't sit and meditate, I was just like, okay, I can't meditate. It's fine. Okay, this is the situation that I'm in. It's okay. And I find that same practice actually, in a sense, applies in life in general. When times are good, when times are bad. So when times are good, we feel good and we feel great, and it's just like amazing. I feel amazing. I feel like it's top of the world. However, it will pass. Nothing lasts forever. And when times are bad and I'm struggling, it's the same principle. It will pass. It won't last forever. And this idea of getting so caught up in the happy moments and getting so caught up in a sense in the bad moments that, it's so miserable when things are bad or when things are going wrong or when things are difficult, they will pass. This too shall pass. It's a very famous quote. I think it's one of the proverbs that have come up in the quotes that I'm kind of releasing. And it's this idea that things pass. Nothing stays. It's like trying to see a cloud in the sky and keep it. It's impossible. We know that it's impossible. And in that same way, a scenario in life, the feelings that a scenario gives us, it's impossible to keep that feeling for a scenario, because that scenario will pass and the feelings for that scenario will pass, whether they be good or bad.